Yeah, let's just jump right into it. After having a mind-breaking bender and somehow winning a Golden Globe, Bojack's back in the public eye and on the set of Secretariat, a movie about his racing idol. Bojack tries changing his attitude since everyone around him knows he's a ticking time bomb of booze, negative emotions, and booze. However, he's faced with a new issue, which is realizing that doing a hammy 90s comedy show doesn't mean that you can act in serious roles. In other words, he sucks. After getting a reality check from his mother, who happily and eccentrically lets him know that he'll never be happy, he was born unhappy, and then it runs in the family, he finally gets into the old Bojack mood. Chronic depression. You love to see it. Bojack tries to bring his hopes up by speed dating, but it's kinda hard to find love when everyone in the world reads your best-selling tell-all book about how much of a douchebag you are. He runs into Wanda, an owl who was in a 30-year coma, and when you know it, the two surprisingly hit it off. But he manages to be Bojack doing typical Bojack things by getting jealous before their relationship even takes off his training wheels. He attempts to win her back at Disneyland. Oh, did I forget to mention that Todd has his own bootleg Disneyland and got sued by the real Disney and won the case because Walt Disney trademarked the wrong name? That's just something he can do apparently. Anyway, he wins her back at Disneyland and the two move in after only being together for a week. I don't usually have enough time to dig into the details of every episode, but I got chills seeing the two in flames like that. Like, geez. Y'all could have been a little bit more subtle with the foreshadowing. After Herb kicks the bucket, Bojack and his former 90s co-stars have a scavenger hunt and try to give his death meaning. He also runs into Charlotte, an old friend of his who he hasn't had sex with from the horsing around days. Remember her name because it's going to be important later. This fucking okay, stay with me here. Diane and Mr. Peanut Butter get into a fight because she wants to do more with her monotonous life by reporting in a war-torn third world country, and Mr. Peanut Butter surprisingly isn't okay with the idea. Meanwhile, at the same time, Princess Carolyn finally breaks up with Vincent and ends this weird joke thing that went on for too long. Also happening at the same time, Bojack and Wanda strengthen their relationship after hitting a deer with his car. Also, Todd's phone falls in love with Princess Carolyn's phone, but it's not plot relevant, so we're moving on. Bojack attempts to gain the love of his stone-faced director since, you know, bad parents. Meanwhile, Todd and Diane fight chicken-related capitalism. In the end, KFC wins. Bojack accidentally says the L word to Wanda, and because love is a foreign concept, he doesn't know how to handle it and takes it back. Somewhere in the middle, Mr. Peanut Butter gets a TV show thanks to PC and one of her co-workers who may have an eye on her, wink wink. And Bojack's co-star dies from things I probably can't say on YouTube. Diane opens up a cancel culture rabbit hole while she and Bojack go on a book tour, which messes up PB's show since the person she's trying to cancel works on the same network as her husband. It's pretty much just Hollywood politics. PB understandably gets upset and the two reluctantly decide that they should take a break and she should start her Cordovian trip early. Also, Todd starts a global conflict, but this isn't his show, so we're not worried about it. This is also the only episode so far where Bojack is literally just minding his own business. But that chill streak gets broken when the horse guy features on Mr. Peanut Butter's show, where he basically gets treated how he treats the dog. And once you start to feel bad, PP drops the bomb and reveals that he knows that Bojack kissed Diane back in season 1. Understandably, he's mad, which is the only time he's genuinely been upset so far. But since they're on TV and we can't have an unhappy ending, they resolve their issues with a steamy kiss. Fan service at its finest. A scene that means a lot to Bojack gets cut from the movie, prompting Kelsey, Bojack, and friends to break into the Nixon library, I love the irony of that, and get the scene anyway. When they show the scene to the executive, he does the reasonable thing and fires Kelsey. PC breaks off from Vigor to start an agency with Rutabaga. Meanwhile, Diane tries to be strong with her journalism in Cordovia, but she finds out quickly that she's not about that life after hyping it up for weeks. But since she's too ashamed to go home, she decides to crash with Bojack indefinitely. Bojack and the new director get off on the wrong foot, and that combined with Diane's overly negative attitude makes Bojack start avoiding the movie and getting drunk with her instead, which doesn't please his alley girlfriend one bit. They get into a fight and Wanda ends up moving out. Bojack ends up going to New Mexico to hang out with Charlotte, who actually ditched LA years ago and has a family. So Bojack decides to turn back, go home, and toughs out the rest of the movie. Oh wait, no, he stays there for 2 months and jams himself into their family dynamic. What? No, he wouldn't do such a thing. He takes Charlotte's daughter to prom and gives one of her friends alcohol poisoning, then proceeds to come on to Charlotte, and then her daughter, who's 17. Charlotte's less than pleased.
And if you ever try to contact me or my family again, I will fucking kill you.
And he returns back to LA, desolate, alone, and feeling more isolated than ever. Anyway, he gets nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, the production crew just used AI to make the movie without him. They even used the AI to reduce scenes that he was in before he left the movie, and now the real Bojack isn't even in the movie. They really hit this man with the render and replace on his own feature film. PC starts her own agency without Rutabaga after discovering that he's been sleeping with her while still having feelings for his wife. She also hires Diane to work for her and accidentally exposes that she's not really in Cordovia. Meanwhile, Todd is I don't know, stuck in improv. He joined an improv cult while everybody else is going through their shit, so it seems kind of small in comparison, but yeah. Maybe one season we'll pay more attention to Todd. Bojack rescues him from improv, and the two end the season with Mediterranean food. And what will happen next? How will PC fare with her own agency? How will Mr. Peanut Butter react knowing his wife was bunking with a man who kissed his wife while they were engaged? How will we as an audience learn to love Bojack again after seeing him sink to the depths of depravity? And will I ever, for the love of God, have a consistent upload schedule? Well guys, you're gonna have to wait to answer all those questions, especially that last one, because that's the end of season 2.
I'm not gonna lie, if you just made all that up, that was some really good improv. Game, recognized game.